Ladies and gentlemen, it's finally about time we get on to the second season of Codegeass. And for me personally, where this all falls downhill at a rapid pace, and it's on heavy ice. By God, you can't slow yourself down.
Yeah.
And there's a pit of fiery flames at the end of it. And by God, you could see it, and you're just so cold from all the fucking heavy ice that you kind of want to fall into the fire. You know, sometimes there might be like a little bump on the road to like slow you down, and you might think, "Oh wow, we might finally be going uphill. We might not fall into this fiery pit." And then the slope gets steeper.
See, the one thing I will say is by the end, I think you narrowly avoid the fire, but you see all your friends fall in the fire instead, and you're like, well, that was good. At least I didn't die, but it's still not the best. And I
I don't
think,
know. I
uh,
still think some things. I
yes,
think you're
exactly.
holding on. I think
Yeah.
you're holding on to the ledge here.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
think you really are holding on to the ledge. This really is a. What's that game? Remember, I kept on like slipping at the cliff.
Oh,
A
like,
way out. A way out.
uh, I was gonna say, like, getting over it, that game?
Oh no, no, this is not like getting over it. Because
Yeah.
at least with getting over it, it's like you might be able to catch yourself. No, some people are willingly falling into the hole. By God, they are falling into the fiery pit with a smile on their face. My God, burn me up, sizzle me, chief, sizzle me.
Yeah, I think we need to, before we start going into the major things of season two, I think it's very important not to forget where season two begins. And that's very, very poorly. Because keep in mind, season one finale is this amazing kind of climax of all these, characters and deaths. And finally, Suzaku versus Lelouch. This is it. This is it right here, right now. And Colin's also there, but who cares? And then, bang, gunshot. And season two starts, and it's, oh hey Volo, hey guys, I'm just a student, and his memory is wiped, and what happened to Lelouch? And we have like 2 episodes of just nothing, of just pure nothing burgers, of him walking around the school and slowly remembering his past, and slowly figuring out what actually happened, which is to say nothing, and him getting captured by his father. And I really want to emphasize, because I feel like it's very easy to forget, my God, season two starts so poorly with the whole like Valletta and everyone spying on Lelouch because they want to find the Black Knights and they want to find C2, but they can't. Oh, I hated the start of season two.
Yeah, no. Now, there is an explainer for this,
Oh, I mean, yeah, the
which I
explanation.
I I, I did look up later. So I thought, like you were saying there, start of season two was really shit.
Yeah.
I thought it was just low quality, and if anything, it felt like a bit of a gag. Like I didn't actually think it was the starting of season two when it was. It felt
Yeah.
like a filler episode. And like that they introduced Rolo, I was like, what the fuck? What's the point of this? Like, why are they throwing in this brand new character in replace of like arguably one of the most important characters of season one for Lelouch's like development and overall like what would you say like his reasoning behind a lot of shit as well. So you're kind of thinking like why would they just throw away Nunnally? And then I looked it up and it said the gap between the production of season one and season two was extended to 2 to 3 years. So there was a gap of 3 years between season one and season two. And if you remember, Code Geass was a show which was released on telly. So the explainer here is that they couldn't immediately go into like the high stakes shooting. Like they couldn't go into the whole like, oh my God, I can't believe you did this, blah blah blah. Gunpoint, one gets shot because a lot of people who are just hearing about Code Geass and want to watch it that night won't know they won't know what it's about.
But still, like they were tuning in and said they'll get this weird slice of life anime which has suddenly a lot of gooning, like a lot of gooning.
Oh God, the Gooner's
And
insane.
then they have like because they tune in and they go, wow, look at these characters like Rolo, like I even forgot the names. What was their names? I'm going Anya and Gino. Like, who cares? You need just literally like the worst characters of the show. These characters that don't get developed, that don't get interesting. That they're a twist at the end, which the twist actually makes it even worse. I think, particularly for Anya, because she's literally just a vessel. Like
Yeah,
characters
no,
that
she is just a vessel. Yeah.
characters that
What the
every
fuck?
scene they seem to sap the energy from it. With they're not funny, they're not interesting. They just have a mech that looks slightly different. And then that brings us into a very glaring issue of season 2 as well. And you notice this straight away. Why does everyone have like a super special mech now? Like I understand we're meeting the Night of Seven, but okay they have cool mechs, but then they start flying. I think the first flying episode I really liked. You know when Nodley is in the when they're trying to rescue Nodley, and you're like, wow, this is a
Yeah.
cool environment of how to do air battles. That's nice. But then that's how every single one is done. Every single fight from then on is effectively in space, apart from one or two in China. And I mean, even the goons, the random goon like soldiers, they start getting running as
Random
well.
goons start flying as well, and I hate that. I hate that. Bear in mind, it goes from like even the likes of Cornelia having only like a ground stationed mech, and she's Cornelia,
Yeah,
to suddenly like everyone's fucking flying, everyone and their mother is flying. And you're like, why can't it only just be held to like two mechs which can fly, or three even? Like I understand the big dogs get mechs which can fly. Like I understand that. But by God, not everyone should be flying. Not even the goons should be flying. It just doesn't make sense. I like that. Not every soldier in a war is in a fighter jet. You know? Some are on the ground, some are fucking duking it out, some are battling it out. I think it made for a lot more suspense. And it made for a lot more thrill. Like that when you're on the ground and it was just like normal dudes fighting, you know? Like if you look back on season one, you look back on like the first and second episode when Alusha's like orchestrating people on the ground and he's calling out points. He's like, yeah, pawn to E3, shoot now. Turn 30 degrees right, shoot now. Yes, pawn at H2, shoot now. You know, that's interesting. Fighter jet anime ain't interesting.
yeah,
Because you're like, Suzaku can't lose. You're like, okay, Callan can't lose. Okay, what the fuck? A Knight of Seven can't lose against a goon. Oh, okay. Toto won't lose. Okay. So who the fuck loses?
yeah.
Who loses?
I think a real issue for me was the lack of interesting scenes. Like in season one, you think of the fight on the hill, you think of the fights in Shinjuku, you think of how to use their environment. But when people are flying, there's no weight to it because they've just been floating around this white empty space. That's probably why it was easier to animate because it's just a blue white background instead of having like the destruction of a city, of an area, of like actually using tactics. And you're like, okay, and then you start getting into the next little arc, which is the China arc. And I think the China arc starts decently, but there were issues that I had that I felt like were never answered, particularly between Shinkei, who also just gets a super strong mech, and he's also super strong, and the Empress. Because, you know, I like their little relationship, and you're like, oh, this is touching, you know, and Shinkei, he's holding on to his, like, barely, just barely, but he's willing to do everything to get her safe, you know, and you're like, wow, you know, this guy really cares for her. And he's bleeding, and he's, like, drawing his last breath, and then he doesn't die, and you're like, okay, I guess, you know, maybe Shinkei will die more emotionally later. But Shinkei is just chill for the show. Like he's not in a wheelchair. He's not like suffering. He's not even in the final fight. Like you know, barely struggling to survive and fight. Butter is just fine. And I feel like all the supposedly emotional impact that had with their little arc is just gone because oh no, he's fine. You know, he dies off screen in the last like minute in the credits.
Does he actually?
Yeah, because he don't in the credits, you know, when they show that last scene, there's a photo of everyone. Apparently, that's like at Shinkei's funeral or something.
Are you fucking serious?
Yeah.
That has to be the worst fucking death. That has to be the worst death ever, ever. You're telling me? Wait, I gotta look this shit up, man.
Like it's
No,
assumed that he.
no fucking way they just kill him like that.
It's just like, oh no, he's not dead. He's just, oh, he eventually succumbed to his illness, and he's not in the final photo, apparently.
What the fuck? His fate is heavily implied to be dead shortly after the series concludes.
Yeah, there's a little photo at the end of the marriage, and Shinkei is not in it. Everyone's there, the Empress and like Shinkei's mate, but not Shinkei.
That is so cheap. That is so cheap. Why? Why would they? Now he can finally die. Like what?
Now he can rest.
That's
But
insane.
I felt like the battles in China were pretty interesting, but I just thought, oh, this is good. We'll see what goes, and then we still having the Shirley stuff, and you can take the Shirley stuff.
Shirley. So, I actually thought Shirley's death was good. As much as you like to say it wasn't, and she was a waste of time character, I thought her death was good.
I think her death served a good purpose, but go on.
I feel like her death, like, it signified that there was no going back for Lelouch.
Yeah.
So, like, in season 1, he had his normal life, and he had his zero life, Like, he had both. And, like, that, at any point, he could fully jump into one, But with the death of Shirley, it kind of signified, like, there's no going back here. Like, you're zero now. You're no longer Lelouch. You're just zero. And Lelouch is zero. Because I feel like he was kind of like, he was limboing between both for a while. And he did have a point where he was like, I could just give up being zero. Like, I don't need to be zero. I was like, what is zero achieving? Like, I don't even have Nunnally anymore. Like, at this point, I think he thinks Nunnally is dead.
Yes, yeah, no, there's one really good episode where he starts like reflecting on his action. You're like, wow, this is really, really good. But unfortunately, let's never forget the episode before Shirley's death is the Cupid Day episode, where they're running around. The biggest filler episode in the entire, like, nothing happens. Pure nothing. It's just people trying to get with each other, and you're like, what is this? Why is there so much fan service? Why is there so much gooning? I don't understand.
And like that for a show which painted itself so serious at points, really threw itself away in others. Like, I think the Gooner eps and the fucking, like, all the still shots of characters, like, bending over, big booba on screen. Like, Valletta has to be the worst. I think Valletta has to be the worst character transformation.
Valletta and Colin.
Ever.
Because Colin's in a mech. Every other person in a mech is fine. But Colin's in a mech and she's bent over and the camera goes to an impossible shot and it just shows her ass or zooms right into her boobs and she's in the tightest uniform for no reason. And even worse, at the end when she gets captured and she's in a dress and the dress is just, oh my, like, you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
The dress is like making her chest 3 times the size that it actually is. It literally looks like balloons that are going to suffocate her face. You're like, what is this?
I think you forget Valletta in the swimsuit.
No, I do. No, I don't. I think you forget even worse. It's Valletta at the party in school, and she's literally just got a bikini. Not even.
Oh, holy fuck! Yeah. I thought. Oh,
that's even worse.
How did it get away with that?
And the fact that every time Shirley, before like her important episode, because you're right, her death is good. I think it's important, but I don't think it's deserved or that interesting because every single other time we see Shirley, it pans to her when she's in either, in the pool or getting out of the pool and she's always falling over and nearly undressing herself and all these close nip slips and you're like, who cares? Why is, like, this is just Shirley, this clumsy, klutzy girl who keeps on showing her tits to the audience. Like, that's not interesting. And she's not like that interesting and compelling of a character, you know what I mean? And that's not even in service of her character. It's not like Shirley's trying to be I don't know, seductive or this or that, or she's like timid of her looks. It's not important to her in the slightest. It's just showing it for the sake of showing it.
Yeah, if like it feels cheap.
Yeah.
It feels like they're just trying to sell off some figurines.
Oh, 100%.
That's what it feels like.
But what's worse is season 1 had a couple of these, but the jump from season 1 to 2 is insane. Like season 1, you had a bit of Shirley, you had a bit of Colin, but that was really it. But even in Cornelia in season 2 looks different. Like I don't understand. It's just weird, you know what I mean? Like it's very clear.
Cornelia goes full like it's almost full goon. It's full send goon.
And C2, C2 is the worst culprit, I think, because she's literally sitting around doing nothing. Like, you know it's bad when we can mention like 5 characters just randomly offhand and just give multiple examples of them just sitting around, you know, it's random clothes, wearing basically nothing, offering no insight and doing it for no reason. Or there's that time
you
when
forget these are all the main women characters.
but
These are the main women characters.
Yeah.
They're not even like random side characters.
Yeah.
They're the main women.
we're not even talking about
characters.
like Millie, who's always wearing something weird, Rakshada, who's always lying down and showing something weird, or Cecile in that one. Remember when they have the impromptu meeting and Cecile's wearing this outlandish dress for like no reason, like why on earth? And they couldn't even explain it. They were like, oh yeah, haha. Like they couldn't even explain it. They couldn't even be like, oh, she was, you know, on like even on a date or on this like diplomatic mission. She's literally just wearing the most outrageous outfit.
And then Nina, the only like character who they never show like they never show any skin for.
It is the goon.
They have her gooning on the table.
Yeah.
On the corner of the table, they have her gooning.
Yeah.
Like for all these characters who are like showing ass, showing tits, showing everything. They also like Nina can't escape either.
Yeah.
They have her gooning. Like what's the point? What's the point of the gooner scene?
Well, the point was to show her like devotion and her obsession towards Euphemia. So obviously, I don't think it should have been there. I do not condone.
Bro, they could have had. No, it would have been even more gimmicky.
Yeah.
But there's a lot of other ways to show devotion rather than having her goon on the table.
They can have
in
it
public.
They can
in
have
public.
it. They could have it do it in so they could do it in a much tasteful. They could still have the awkward teenager aspect without her doing it in table, and then Nordley comes in, but thankfully she's blind, so she doesn't see.
Nina, is that you? Oh my god. Oh. At the council table as well, bro.
Uh-huh.
Like, they could have had her, let's just say, for example, she has the blankets over her head, she's in bed or something, and she's like reading through the book, and she's like, oh, Euphemia, I love you. Like, something like that, you know?
Yeah. I wouldn't go into any more detail right now on the podcast.
Oh my god, no.
But yeah, but think about how many characters, and this is just extremely prevalent in season 2. And the thing is, season 2, the themes are still good. I think that's always important to say, that the big picture of the show is always still good. But there isn't, you know, it cannot be carried when the consistency is so bad, and when every third scene is a Guna scene, and the dialogue, we have to say the dialogue gets so stiff at times. Where you'd have this great Lelouch monologue, this great, you know, Emperor Charles monologue. Then you have Colin just saying Colin, Anya, and Gino saying the most useless drivel in fights. Like, oh, good, Satan, the elements, let's go. Like, what? And then the characters are talking to each other, and there's no like slang, there's no this, there's no that. They don't seem like they're from this time frame. They're just talking like robots to each other.
See, what I don't get is they never explain it either. Is there like speakers in the mix so that people can hear you talking?
Yeah.
Is there like an instant communication line set up between you and the other mech you're battling it out with? How does that make sense? Like, it makes sense for like you're on the same side. You can hear each other talk, or you're part of the same squadron. That's fine. That makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
But for you to be talking with the enemy in your mech, like they never explain that. Because if it's a case that they can't hear each other, it's all just drivel. it's all just bullshit. Like,
Yeah,
oh,
no,
you're
no.
you're
Yeah.
good, Suzaku Kurugi. You got me there.
Yes,
Like,
but no, it's very blatant because it's not even typical anime fights. It's worse because you'll have um, the Shinkei fight in the Night of One, and Shinkei deflects it, and he goes. So you see Shinkei deflecting sword, and the guy goes, "Ah, very good. You deflected my blade by perfectly tracking the trajectory." And it's like, we just saw what happened. You don't need to explain it. And the show, I'll comment on it later, but it's got a very bad case of dumb people writing smart characters, trying to write smart characters. But we'll get to that in a sec. Let's just start going on to now. Shirley getting killed by Volo, who literally everybody hates Volo, and then Lelouch coming in and killing V2 and massacring all them goons.
yeah, I think not only does Rolo have the worst dub actor
Oh,
of
so
all
bad.
time,
It's so
the
bad.
dub actor for Rolo,
Lelouch.
hey Lelouch, I've I'm after killing Shirley. Like you're like, what the fuck? Like, who says that? It's awful. It's so fucking bad. His voice, like even like during the sad scenes, just stays exactly the same.
Yeah.
There's no like whimper of death. There's no anger or frustration. It's just, Lelouch, I didn't really like what you said there.
And you'd think
Did you really hate me, brother?
but
And you're like,
you would think this emotionless character would start to develop emotion, right? And oh, he develops his love for Lelouch, but you don't hear it, you don't see it in him. Like, surely he would naturally then open up, like talk less like a robot, have these interactions, but it just doesn't work like that, you know. But they still have, like, I think his death is probably the best thing about him. Genuinely, like,
yeah, but even still, it's the first and might I say, well, it's the second time we've ever seen consequence for using Geass. Second and only second time.
Yeah.
In a show which has how many Geass users, we only see two instances of how they explain it at the starting of the show. If you overuse your Geass, you're gonna be in trouble. Two fucking times. Two side characters. Mao and Rolo.
yeah,
Make that make sense.
yeah. I
Lelouch
really dislike the fact that
spams his Geass. Spams it. Nothing.
I hate the
Nothing.
fact that his spamming, like, oh, he has two eyes to have Geass now. And the drawback is he can't look anyone in the eye. He has to wear the mask the whole time. That's really cool. But no, he can just put in contact lenses. So what? And okay, but at least it'll take him time to put in the contact lens. No, he can literally move the hand, and within like 0.5 of a second, the contact lens is in and out. So it's essentially like instant, and there's no downside to it.
It's like a mime. Like when I tell you, for the folks who haven't seen this at home, it's quite literally like a mime. And you ever see like the meme where it's like happy face, he pulls the hand down and it's sad face?
Yeah.
That's fucking Lelouch. That's Lelouch changing his eyes. Like, how the fuck does that make sense? Like, contact lenses, I've never put them in, but you watch someone putting them in, it takes a good minute. Like, you have to, like, get your eye drops, squeeze them in. You have to put them in carefully. If you don't put them in carefully, you're cooked. You need to blink a couple times, adjust them in your eyes. Like, that shit should be taking time. But no, it's just a swipe and it's done. And like that, it doesn't show him taking out like any new contact lenses or anything. So those are some dirty ass contact lenses, bro. He just takes them out and puts them in his pocket, then puts that shit back on. Make it make sense, god damn it. Make it make sense.
Yeah, it's just.
Anyway,
Yeah.
back to Geass overuse. Everyone in this show at some point gets Geassed by Lelouch.
Yes.
Fucking everyone.
Yeah, I think that's the point, but yeah.
It's the fact that there's no drawbacks for him using it though. The only drawback is that he can't use it on them again.
Yeah.
That's bullshit. That's bullshit.
And the drawback is he's just going.
Remember, he literally has conversations with C2 like, I will not abuse this power. I will use it wisely to help me get to my goals. You're like, okay, maybe he's only going to use it a couple times. No.
Well,
He
like
uses it.
when he spams it, as you said, he should be punished, or something should happen. But no, like literally in the end, he's like uses it on a whole courtroom of people, and they all serve him, and it's like that's so stupid.
You forget he uses it on his entire army. He uses it on his armies to get them devoted to him, to work for him. Like you'll see, like, or even like during like the first Black Rebellion and stuff, he manipulated entire like offices, like control rooms, operating rooms, security guards, fucking everyone, hundreds, thousands of people, Geass, and nothing happens to him. The only thing which happens to him is something he orchestrates himself, and that's his death.
Yeah. No, I think
Make it make sense.
It's
Mao
just bizarre.
uses his Geass for what was it? I think they explained like I think it was 20 years. And he's like completely cooked. He's a looper. He's mental. Lelouch uses his like one-time ability on people, on thousands of people, and nothing.
No,
I don't know.
100%. I think like a lot of issues there, and I think this kind of. I think we also need to talk about Suzaku Kurogi in season 2. Like, you know, the second best character in season 1, you know, due to protagonist. Let's see what he does in this season. Nothing. He doesn't do anything. He's sitting there, and after season 1, he has this great moral quandary. Or should he join the army? Can he fix it from the inside? What is he going to be doing? You know, will he, like, obviously wants to help Japan with this or that. In season 2, he's just blindly following them. But it's not even like he's chose this or not sort of any character growth or he's questioning much things until the end. He's just pissing around the whole time until he decides to join the Leash at the end, which also kind of doesn't make sense. Like, it's just so flat. And that's like the last thing you expect from an emotional character, you know, like Suzaku.
Yeah, I feel like Suzaku did just become a MacGuffin after a while. He stopped being a character in season 1. Mm-hmm. And then he was just a plot device.
He was the Lancelot. That's what he became.
Yeah, he was the Lancelot, and the issue was that I felt like he was only being used as like trying to show like the good and moral side compared to Lelouch. That's it. That's all he was used for. You know, like you had like Lelouch who like had a certain plans and goals, and it was like Suzaku was like, I'm going to be here to stop you. You know, you can't get away with this. You can't keep doing this, Zero. And then eventually when it finds out it's Lelouch, it's like, Lelouch, you can't keep getting away with this. Lelouch, you have to hold yourself accountable. Lelouch, you can't, like, I don't know, you can't be emperor. That's insane. You have to die. Like, what was the point in Suzaku? And then becoming the Knight of Zero and what a drag. What a drag.
Yeah, I think. And Schneisel,
like, I'm going to do everything I stood against.
Schneisel, the big bad, was not. Like, if you compare villain season 1, if you compare Cornelia to Schneisel, like, Schneisel you'd think, oh, look, you're excited to see more of him. You see more of him, and he's not that interesting. He's not that charismatic. Okay, he's clever, but show me this. And okay, like he beats Lelouch in like in a chess game. No.
We cannot say Schneisel isn't charismatic.
Where's his charisma? He's dry.
Bro is suave at times. Don't even lie to me. Bro is suave at times.
Okay,
he kind of got it going.
This guy who's suave at times is supposed to be the one guy who Lelouch can't beat. And then Lelouch clowns him in the end with a recorded videotape, which Schneisel couldn't beat.
No, don't get me wrong. That was complete, like, that scene right there is pure drivel. That scene right there is pure drivel. And like that, just for like a little heads up for the people at home, that is one of the prime examples of smart characters being written by dumb people. Because holy fuck, what a drivel scene. Like, what absolute crud. You're telling me, I'll let you explain the scene.
Yeah. So for those who don't understand, this is a moment when Lelouch, he's down in the reactor, but Schneisel, he already thought ahead, and he's sitting in the escape ship. And Lelouch is, he opens up a one-way or two-way video call. So he's talking to Schneisel. And he's like, Schneisel, I have this plan, and blah, 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 and blah, 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 and blah, blah, blah. And Schneisel is replying, he's responding. This very interesting back and forth. Schneisel just has him sorted. Now, one guy he can't beat, but, oh no, look, it's Lelouch, and he's right behind him. How did he get in? He's got a gun. And it's like, Schneisel, you fool. You were talking to a recording this whole time. And it's like, what? You're telling me that every single time he paused and responded, it was the perfect amount of time. And you're telling me every single thing that, Lelouch said, Schneisel was just going to, like, he knew that whatever he was going to say, Schneisel was going to nod along and respond. He wouldn't wait any longer. He wouldn't pause. He wouldn't think. It's such a loose and flimsy excuse and a narrative device. But what's even worse is they've done this before. They've used it in season 1, and it was actually kind of interesting when they had Mao and Lelouch and he used the recording. And that was cool because Mao, he's this psycho character who can't perceive reality. And you're like, oh, that's really interesting. And you wonder what Mao's going to say because he's saying the same things over and over again. He wants C2, he hates Lelouch, he's going to be with her forever. But with Schneisel, when he brings up all these different things and when he seems to be changing, faces, as you say, shedding skins, or you don't quite know what Schneisel's like. No one has any clue what he's going to say at any given moment. So how on earth can Lelouch, Gigabrain, Megamind predict this? It's ridiculous. And not only that, but then Deton comes in and he's like, you should be dead. And Deton, how we've seen, is willing to jump to whoever's side who's going to become king. He just wants to document the best story, yeah? And when he sees Lelouch back from the grave, Lelouch, the guy who he's been following, with the best story, he goes, no. He doesn't even go, this is too far. He goes, you should be dead. And he picks up a gun. Deton, who's never once fought, who we've seen flee fights. And Lelouch just shoots him. And then not only that, Deton at the end is lying there and says, please, Lelouch, just use your Geass on me. Just once. And he's like, no. Like, come
Please,
on.
Lelouch. Please, Lelouch, I just want to feel it. You're like, yeah, completely fucking goofy. And you'd wonder why, like, in that scene of all scenes, Detard isn't like, Lelouch, this is brilliant. I can't believe you've done it.
Yeah.
Holy, like, like it's the Japanese meme. Where it's like, Sugoi. Subarashi. Like, this is perfect. I can't believe you've done it, Lelouch.
Yeah,
and then Lelouch just shoots.
Exactly. Yeah. And then,
that would have made so much more sense rather than, Lelouch, you fiend. I can't believe you're doing this. I'm with Schneisel. You've seen this guy dip out on the Britannian Empire. Like, he used to, like, record their propaganda. Say, no, fuck that. Zero's an interesting character. Which is, like, a cool prospect as well. Like, bro just wants to make propaganda. Bro just wants to make propaganda. My God, he just loves propaganda. But, like, he sees Zero as this super interesting character. And as a journalist, he wants to document them. Cool. Then he sees Schneisel as this super interesting character. Kind of weird how you didn't know about Schneisel before, considering you were making Britannian Empire, like, Empire propaganda. But sure, go off to Schneisel. He's on the winning side. You see Schneisel being held at gunpoint. This motherfucker's gonna die. And you still defend them. How make it make sense? No. By God, make it make sense.
You can't.
In the biggest drivel scene, how did Schneisel, of all people, who's supposed to be like on par with Lelouch, intellect-wise, not realize it's a fucking recording? Also, what happened to the bomb, the flare, which was supposed to go off? Did that just like disappear?
Yeah, we just
remember there was like a 10-minute
we just don't care
countdown.
about
And like you're kind of thinking, oh, Lelouch has to be in that control room because he has to like deactivate the flare. No, he doesn't. He can just show up and just kill fucking Schneisel. Yeah. Okay, that makes sense.
And now, speaking of flares, so flare, one of the few good parts of season 2 is, when Suzaku has to use the flare, and he uses it, and this when Suzaku starts kind of becoming interesting again, and he uses the flare, he commits just genocide to stop the Black Knights, and you're like, wow, Nornley's dead. Guilford's dead. Who cares about Sayako? But she's dead as well. All these characters die. You're like, wow, this is crazy. Nina's reeling. Everyone's kind of in shock. And then Nonali returns. What? Why? Why is Nonali returning? She should be dead. The whole point is that Lelouch has gone too far now. His one person that he wanted to save is dead. Why is she now alive? And then Guilford is alive as well. Like, how? Why would you bring even Guilford back? Who, in a random scene at the end, where he just is blind. Like, it's just so fan servicey. Where, oh no, your favorite character didn't die. They're alive. And you're like, okay. Like, so who actually dies in the end? No, Schneider doesn't die. Lonely. Like Lelouch, I guess. Not Suzaku, not Colin, not anybody. No one really dies in the show. Ogi somehow doesn't die. How many times did that guy sacrifice himself and they all survive? I
How
swear.
many times has that guy got shot? And he fucking survived.
I swear, I thought he was going to sacrifice himself at the end, when the ship's going down. And you're like, finally, he's going to it pans to Valletta with the baby. You're like, oh, this is it. Nah, Ogi's fine. He just leaves the rubble like it's nothing. Ogi, who did, like, nothing in this season as well. Like, I don't understand.
Yeah, don't they pull Ogi out of the ship and he's like barely alive and they're like, it's okay, Ogi, we're gonna get you home. We're gonna get you back to Valletta.
He literally like gets up and dusts himself off. He's like, yeah, I'm good.
I'm good to go, guys. Come on, let's go. Let's go home.
Yeah. He literally like lock in and and you see a lot of this. And I think particularly with the big, we are about the political side, more pretty abstract, emotional, I don't even know what they call it. The fake human instrumentality project. What did they call it?
Oh god. Oh fuck. What's the name of it? It's like
merge.
Convergence or something like that. I'm gonna look it up. Ragnarok.
The Ragnarok connection.
Yeah. The Ragnarok connection. By God, it is just Evangelion Instrumentality Project. And people are even saying it online.
Yeah.
The concept, oh my God, it's literally in the Codegeass wiki. The concept of Ragnarok is very similar to the Human Instrumentality Project of NGE, both an idea and the way it is carried out. Are you fucking serious? They're telling me, like, the whole plot point for the king, for the emperor, in season 1 and season 2, is to rip off NGE. That's insane.
Yeah, and to do it poorly as well, because I think the concept itself is interesting. So when they brought it in, I was like, "Ooh, this is interesting," but they just the execution of it isn't that interesting. When he's talking to Lelouch about it, and when it's revealed Marianne the Flash, oh, she's evil the whole time. You're like, okay, that's kind of neat, but like, I don't care about her, and I don't care about Anya. This doesn't hit at all,
Yeah. It's the fact that you don't like the Anya twist was cheap because Anya as a character was cheap. She wasn't there to serve any purpose. She wasn't there to like, I don't know. It wasn't like they built her up as this character.
No, she didn't add.
And then it was a sudden twist that it was Marianne.
Yeah.
Also, she wasn't trying to like befriend Lelouch. She wasn't trying to do anything with Lelouch. She didn't give a fuck.
Yeah.
So you're telling me Marianne is in control of Anya's mind like the whole time? Well, we'll say like most of the time, considering
I think
she transferred her mind.
Yeah, I think it was like brief moments, but it was just bizarre that you would think that Anya would like reach out and then she would like switch back and you'd be like, what's going on, Like you're trying to figure out why is Anya sus. But instead, Anya is just literally monotone character who just is dry and just says like, I have no feelings, I am sad. Okay? Oh, I'm not going to care about you.
Yeah, like, or she has a scene with Lelouch, which could have, like, for people at home, this will be in my final ratings. This show is a show of a lot of like, what ifs.
Yeah.
Like it could have been amazing, if they did this, if they did that, if they touched on this more, if they involved this character in scenes more. And like that, that's not great for a show. For you to have to come up with your own conclusions and for you to have to come up with your own what ifs to make the show better, that's the sign of a bad show.
But you know what's funny? I think that's one of the reasons why this show excelled and has such a rabid fan base, because it has many spin-offs, it has many what ifs, and because the ending ultimately, the main core story with Lelouch dying is good and it is interesting. I think so many people see that. Because this is definitely like one of the first anime people saw when they're like 14, 15. It's very similar to Death Note. You see it and you go, this is Pog. Because Codegeass is a show which is consistently average but has peak moments. And so you see these peak moments and you go, oh my god, and you forget about the mid dialogue, you forget about the gooning, you forget about this and that. And obviously the music is amazing as well. And we have to mention that. The music is sublime. But and it carries
the outro music is proper outro music.
But I'm not even talking about intros. Like during the actual scenes, the music is really good. I think the intros are kind of crud, and the outros are 50-50.
I don't know. I thought the second half outro was pretty good. I thought all the like still shots which they use for the outro were also really cool.
Yeah, but some of them are also super good.
Like the art. Well. Oh yeah, so some of them were good. I'm talking about the Lelouch with like the wings in his back, like the angel, and you have C2 like holding him. Yeah. I was like, wow, that's kind of interesting. It's like it's a cool shot, like.
Yeah, no, they had some interesting shots, 100%.
No, the Gooner shots, they're BFB, bad for business.
Yeah, and I think that people like shows that. You know, since there's peak moments, you can say, what if this went differently? What if Suzaku didn't find a flare? What if Suzaku wasn't told to live, and then every single time he faces adversity, he lives and overcomes it? Like, so many what ifs that people just naturally gravitate towards it. And it has this kind of... See, it's funny, because it has this large niche fan base, but at the same time, nobody's watching Codegeass now, do you know what I mean? It's not.
Yeah.
It's not like Fullmetal Alchemist, which everyone's always gonna be watching Fullmetal Alchemist. It's not like Evangelion and Cowboy Bebop, where people are always gonna be going back and watching those. It's just kind of fallen to the wayside.
It is forgotten media. It is, because you don't hear of a lot of people these days talking about Geass. Like you hear them, like you'll see it on like IGN or something like that, or like
it'll be
best
like,
anime of all time ranked.
Yeah, it'll be on Reddit. You'll see a bunch of posts on Reddit, and you're like, "Wow, people must love this anime. Like, it must be great." And you ask anyone, and before me, you, and Roman watched it, who started watching it when we did, not only did I not know anyone who watched it, I didn't know anyone who even knew about it. And I only know about it because from Moist Critical and a bit from Trash Taste. That's the only reason I know about it.
But they rated it highly as well, though. I think Moist rated it highly.
Well, it's Moist's favourite anime, but Moist agrees that it's flawed. And Trash Taste, they hate season 2.
Damn.
Because it's their words. They say season 1 is great, but they say there's a lot of issues. They have a lot of logical inconsistencies, which is very true. For example, when Lelouch looks at Euphemia, and in that specific moment, you know, he mistakenly uses the Geass on her. Even though that's a peak moment, it still kind of doesn't make sense. And they say season 2 is a car crash, which somehow manages to parallel park at the end. with his death. But still,
yeah, that kind of... Yeah.
But still, like, when that happens, it's just so, like... When he, like, dies and he, like, does a front flip and slides down the thing. And he lands
right beside Nunley.
Nunley was in chains, but her chains are, like, wrapped... Like, her chains are so stupid. Like, I don't know did you ever notice her chains?
I did. They're
not chained to her. It's just, like, she has chains around her arms. But okay, whatever. It's ridiculous. She's not only gaining her eyesight back, I hate it as well.
She actually looks so cooked with with eyes.
Yeah.
It looks so fucking weird. Like she just opens her eyes and they're just fucking huge. They just look wrong in her face as well.
Yeah, and I hate the fact that when she touches people, she can just tell what they're thinking. So the whole time she's like betrayed and hurt by Lelouch, and she touches him as the enemy, like the worst guy in the world. who's like brought all this terror back. She touches him, and she's like, "I can't believe you did it all for me." And he's like, "Yes, yes, I did." And he dies. This isn't supposed to be an emotional, happy ending for him. She should look at him and she'd be like, "Thank God he's dead."
Or she should touch him, like his hand is going cold, like he's dying.
Yeah.
And she's like, I can no longer feel you, brother. You're no longer here. You're just zero. And he dies. And then she's like, Zero is dead. You know, like, obviously not Zero, but Lelouch is dead.
Yeah.
You know, and then the crowd rejoices. Everyone's like, oh, yippee. Emperor Lelouch is dead. Long live Zero. Blah, blah, blah. Also, I don't know. It's just kind of weird how the whole, like, the Black Knights didn't reveal that Lelouch was Zero as, like, propaganda against the whole, like, Lelouch being emperor regime. Why didn't they release why didn't they release it?
They didn't show anything. Like it was like a 5-minute montage of him becoming emperor.
Why didn't they release the Lelouch files?
And let's not forget, the worst thing is how Lelouch became emperor. Let's never forget this. So, this is 2 months after the Ragnarok connection, right? Charles is gone, and Schneisel, who just did a coup, you'd expect is the emperor, right? But no, Schneisel not the emperor for some reason. They don't even show anything. It's just Charles has called a gathering. But Charles isn't there. It's this schoolboy. This schoolboy is coming up. He says he's the emperor. Everyone has a laugh. Oh, it's Lelouch. He's back. The gods come up. Suzaku comes from the heavens. There's a 360 like spinning kick. Knocks him out. And Lelouch Geass everyone and says, I am the emperor now. What an awful way to become emperor.
Yeah, you don't have any valid claim to the throne. You don't have anything. Like, if Charles always wore a crown and it was like the crown which sits upon, like, whoever's head the crown sits upon is emperor, like that's the rule or something, like that's Britannian law, and Lelouch seen with the crown, he puts it on his head. Okay, that sort of makes sense, you know, like, to just kind of have to follow a leader blindly, and like that can lead to a lot of divisions, and it can lead to a lot of this, that, and the other. But no, Lelouch just sits on the throne. He just says, yeah, I'm the emperor now. You telling me everyone just, like, obeys? They're just like, oh, yeah, that's cool. Oh, yeah, that's sweet. I understand. He's got all the most, like, highly recognized council members, people of power, lords, ladies, all that within that realm. But the fact that, you know, it's just like, it's such a seamless transition. Such a seamless, like, yeah, that's it.
But it's the fact that why was Schneisel an emperor? What the hell happened in that month? Just chaos? Like, Schneisel, he wants to make a coup, and then Charles is gone. So what does Schneisel do? Why does he not do anything?
Yeah, you think Schneisel would, like, be pushing here, you know?
When you think he would have already seized the opportunity, and he's already emperor. Like, that, it doesn't make any sense. For 1 month, there was just no emperor.
No, there was. It was the oldest brother. No, it's the fact they still think the emperor's still alive.
Yes, but why did Schneisel not do anything?
They're all too scared of Charles's aura.
Like, come on. Nah. Like, nah. This ain't it.
I feel like we've pointed out a lot of inconsistencies. I think we need to start pointing out some good things which happen.
Yeah, it's hard for me to focus on good things, but yeah.
Considering I still have a lot more shit things I want to say.
Yeah.
But I do want to get 1 or 2 good things out of the way first.
I think the overall themes of persecution and, you know, oppression by a government on various, you know, groups of people, I think is really good.
I think I'd say the best scene of season 2. It's kind of hard to say the show, but I think of season 2 has to be like the moments of consequence. Like, the moments of consequence have to be the best. Like, just after the flare has been launched in Tokyo, and you're like, holy fuck, like, the place is destroyed, millions of people were killed, you know? Like, they tried to evacuate, but the radiation is killing them slowly. Like, oh my God, the place is completely destroyed. You see Nina in disarray. She's like, I can't believe it. Like, I realized what it would do, but I didn't think it would do this, you know? Like, homes, villages, communities, everything gone. Gone. Schneisel destroying the capital city.
Yeah.
Flea, boom, gone. Telling Nunley, telling Cornelia, no, trust me, the city was evacuated. It's fine, it's fine. No, it wasn't. What's a few hundred people to save thousands? That's crazy. I like that. Schneisel in them moments is written perfectly. He's just like Lelouch. He's worse. He's worse than Lelouch. Lelouch ran the rebellion frontier, you know, he was trying to be the heroes to the public. He was trying to save the commoner. Schneisel doesn't give a fuck about the commoner. Fuck them. They're dead. They're going to die. They're just mortals. If you get to be emperor, you become immoral. That's what he thinks. That's interesting. You have the purging of the Geass community. You have the purging of a whole like civilization of people.
That was great.
And you understand why Lelouch is doing it. You understand like why he has to do it. But it's exactly like that. It's like like he's in like starting this control state. It's like Animal Farm, you know? It's like he finds reason to wipe and purge all these people. And the Black Knights don't say anything. They're too afraid to. They're like, they must be bad. There must be a reason why we're wiping them out. Like, you see genocide. You see an actual genocide on screen. And it's never, like, addressed after that. You have one or two characters who address it. Like, Toto kind of, like, changes sides because of it. But, by God, like, it's really fucking interesting. And they don't do anything with it. You think they would, and they don't. They're packaging up dead children, women, completely innocent bystanders are all dead, and nothing is done. I don't know.
Yeah, because they have Asahina, and he's like, oh, I have this plan. I'm gonna tell Toto, and then he dies before he can, and then he tells Toto, and then I think it builds decent seeds of doubt, but ultimately. I like when they finally betray Lelouch, you know, when Shinazo's like, this guy, you know, has been clowning on you. But I think it just took a while. I think the characters were willing to forgive a lot of crazy shit.
Colin was willing to forgive a lot of crazy shit.
Colin has to be like top 3 worst characters in the show.
I think Valletta's up there, bro. Nina is the worst character.
You have to be joking. You have to be joking.
Nina is the fucking
you don't, because when she makes the look and her regret for it, she's a character that you dislike, but that's not because she's badly written. That's because she's a bad person.
She's top 5. She's top 5 worst characters. Top 5 worst characters in the show.
But she's not written badly. She's just a bad person.
No, she is written badly. She's written horribly.
Well, no, she's
a horribly written character, man. You're just forgetting. You're forgetting that it's all like complete bullshit. It's all stupid stuff. You're telling me a teenager can make a fucking nuke.
I'm not saying that's good. Obviously, that's
You're telling me she can like reconfigure a fucking old mech into uranium bomb.
Look, I'll only say it works. It works in this show because Lelouch, another 17-year-old, is supposedly the smartest man in the world, and he can outmaneuver every single person. So if Lelouch can do that, then sure, Nina can be the scientist.
There's a big difference between battle tactics and forging a uranium bomb.
Lelouch literally. Lelouch does more than battle tactics. You're telling me he knows the exact infrastructure of the city, who to go to, how to like decouple everything, who to mind control, like. It's ridiculous.
Oh, it's complete bullshit. But there's, like, you see yet again, there's explainers to this which don't make any fucking sense. You get me?
Yeah.
So, like, you could say, oh, Lelouch and the Black Knights have a web of information. They have connections to all the Japanese people who are, like, honorary battalions now. You have, like, I don't know, like a spider web of communication. And that can make sense. And you have D-Tard who's working in the back and he's, like, targeting people and soloing out people. It's also the fact that I feel like that makes sense, but I had to explain it, and they never explain it, which sucks. But with Nina, just because her name is Einstein doesn't mean she gets to create a fucking uranium bomb
No, that's
from a
that's
school.
100% true, but I wouldn't say that's the character.
From a school, god damn it. She's 16.
The character is interesting.
The character is not interesting. The character is not interesting. The only interesting thing about her is that she goons and that she suffers consequences to her actions. Which,
Well,
to be fair, not a lot of characters feel that in
it's
the
her
show.
slow realization. It's a sheltered girl, yeah, who has these racist beliefs, and it gets unfortunately amplified due to her experiences, and her infatuation with the princess only deepens her hatred for these people and ultimately drives her in the hands of Schneisel, someone who just praises her because her mates kind of treated her like shit and never really hung out with her. And they were there, but they never really, even though they liked it, they never made an effort to care. And so she naturally is easy prey for Schneisel. And then she loves hanging out with Lloyd and all the others because she's doing the right thing. She's working for Japan, or not Japan, but she's working for, the government, for the Britannian Empire. And then she makes a nuke. This is what she should be doing, right? This is the only thing she's good for. But then she makes it, and she realizes, oh my god, I just killed so many people. What the fuck did I just do? And then her whole life is ruined, because not only is it the scientific aspect, the moral aspect, but this was her. Nina was the scientist that does this. But then when Nina, the scientist, executes all these millions of people, what does that make her?
It makes her top 5 worst characters in the show.
It makes her top 5 best characters in the show.
She's 16. She makes a fucking uranium bomb.
I'm not saying that's not stupid.
Make it make sense.
Colin is the same age. Colin is the same age, and she's
what,
the greatest mech fighter in the world. Colin is the GOAT.
Yeah, they also don't explain how they just consolidate putting children in mechs. Another NGE moment.
Yeah.
Another NGE moment. But at least NGE explains it.
Yeah.
At least NGE understands that putting children in mechs is fucking mental. But we have no choice.
Yeah.
Well, do they have a choice?
Well, the kids. I mean, technically, Shinji did have a choice. But
technically, Shinji had a choice, but
yeah,
also not really. But
well, I mean, at the start, he did choose to run.
He chose to run like 3 times.
He chose to run a lot, but he came back.
But by God, he came back.
By God, he delivered.
But like,
I'm trying to think what else. I struggle.
It's so shit.
I struggle.
It's so shit thinking of NGE compared to the Geass one.
For me, a big one, by the way, the fights. In NGE, in Ava, every single, damage, every single blow, they are linked with their mechs, so they feel everything. So it's like they are fighting. In here, it's just blow after blow, destruction, carnage, and no one feels anything. And no one suffers. And so everyone lives to fight another day. I hate that. I hate that after every fight, people are just grand. Well, in Ava, it was a struggle, every single fight. And you could feel the weight behind it. Here, the mechs are like dolls, In Ava, you could feel the weight. They destroy cities. They destroy major, areas, lakes, mountains, just to defeat these monsters.
It's like that someone breaks your arm.
Yeah.
You're fucking, Shinji's reeling in pain. He's fucking screaming. He's like, holy fuck.
Yeah, when Asuka has to, hold on to, that plague that's, infesting her. Or when, obviously, what happens to Asuka at the end. You feel it all. You feel the horrors that the characters go through. But here, they get stabbed. They just eject. It's nothing. And for me, why do I care about fights if there's no stakes to it, when every single character can just use their escape pod and escape, and they don't feel any pain?
And then they also have, the Lancelot doesn't have an escape pod. And you're like, oh, that could be interesting, if you die, you die. He never fucking dies.
Yeah, he doesn't die.
He never dies.
Yeah.
And like that, you think like there'd be like a reason for taking out the escape pod, so like make your mech faster or like add more enhancements, and like, oh, you can't have an escape pod because you want to be like 30% faster in the air compared to other mechs. Oh, okay, makes sense. Except, hold on, no wait, you can have an escape pod. Don't you worry, Chief. You can just get out of this war willy nilly. You can just go home. Oh, as soon as your mech's done, yeah, go home. You can go off to a wedding at the very end, but like war criminals, you know, genocide causers, you have like arsonists, you have worst of the worst people. Yeah, you can just go home to them. That's chill.
Uh-huh.
Oh, you brainwash children into fighting for your cause. Oh, that's okay. Oh, you push a maniacal, like, soon to be emperor into power. Oh yeah, that's chill. Oh yeah, you watch countless of people die, innocent people, women, children, elderly. You want to have a happy ending? Oh yeah, that's cool. What the fuck? No consequences to any actions in the show? What the fuck? I don't know. And then compare that to NGE, where everything, everything you do has an equal and opposite reaction. This is insane.
You can't even
For a
begin to
show,
compare the characters. Not even compare side characters like Ritsuko. Compare Ritsuko to any character here. Think of how little screen time she gets, but how much she gets with it.
and all of Ritsuko's stuff, like, even though it's so limited, it's so interesting. It's so interesting. Like she pulls together lore.
Yeah. And
Like she pulls together lore.
everything with her relationship with her mom, and then science, and even Misato, and then her relationship with Gendo at the end. Oh, it's just heartbreaking.
The fact that the AI which they use, and like it powers their city, it powers their hub, is her mother's brain. Like, holy fuck. Like, it's the three sides of her mother. I like that she works and she maintains and she cares for her mother every day, the mother who wasn't there.
Yeah. Like it's for me, Codegeass is it's not an anime devoid of emotion, but I don't feel anything for it. When characters die, I'm not. Apart from Euphemia, but that's season one. In season two, characters die, I don't feel anything. When Shirley dies, I'm not sad. When Lelouch dies, I'm not sad. Like, I'm just kind of like okay, and it's just. I think it's a really like typical 15-year-old anime, like as in like anime for 15-year-olds. Like if I was 15, I'd probably thought this is the coolest shit ever, you know.
If I saw it at 15, yeah, I feel like I'd be able to look past bad dialogue.
I mean,
I'd be able to look
when I'm
past.
15, I watch Peaky Blinders and I'm like, wow, this is amazing.
Yeah, yeah, we really have our come ups about Peaky Blinders now, don't we?
I fuck that show. I've been
Yeah, we did
saying
watch.
it.
We also did watch Sons of Anarchy.
Oh,
I think
jeez.
it was good.
Well, we did not. No. While watching it, I never said it was good. Never forget my complaints about it.
To be honest, I thought season 1 and season 2 of Sons of Anarchy was decent. I was like, you know what? I could watch this. This is fine, I guess. And then I finished it. I was like, holy fuck,
This
this
is not
sucked.
fun.
This sucked. Remember Jax as the Angel of Death? And he's just like sitting outside the courthouse with like a shawl, like a dirty hobo shawl over him, and just killed the counselor.
I hate
What
Jack.
the fuck?
I
And then
hate
and then
Jack.
he just runs around the place, and they don't like the guards don't think to like go to the one spot, like the one spot where he usually always fucking is, which is at the garage. And like the Sons of Anarchy, like fucking what would you even call it? Building? Why don't they go there first? But no, he gets an emotional send off with all the gang, gets on his dad's motorbike, and just kills himself. Holy fuck. Is Jax
Keith.
Lelouch? Is Jax Lelouch? Is this it? Is Jax Suzaku Kurugi?
Nah, it's. I think. Final rating. What do you think, Code Geass?
Oh, oh.
Because the more I think about it, the worse it gets.
Yeah, yeah. Like I didn't
I will
see yet again.
never.
I was still holding on to all the good moments, which is the issue. I was still holding on to all the good moments. The more I talk about the bad shit, the more the good shit looks bad now.
Yeah, I will never recommend this show to anyone, and I will never tell anyone to go watch the show.
Yeah, yeah. I'd like to think that people are better than the show.
If I think of what an anime I want to show, if I think an action, lighthearted action anime, go watch Chainsaw Man. You'll love it. If you want like more kind of cooler action with interesting fighting powers, go watch JJK. If you want a real story about, humanity and war, go watch Vinland Saga. If you want a really cool, classy, kind of short form little thing, go watch Cowboy Bebop. If you want something really short but surprisingly emotional, go watch Cyberpunk Edge Runners. If you want a general abstract medium which can really push the boundaries of, anime and visual storytelling, go watch Evangelion. Hell, if you just want to watch some people punch people, just watch One Punch Man. Like, I don't think I can think of a time when I'd say go watch Codegeass.
No, it's because there is no time. There is no reason to watch Geass.
Like,
There's no
if you want long-term storytelling, go watch Fullmetal Alchemist. Why would you watch Codegeass?
like that. There's so much more anime out there which we haven't yet watched and digested and critiqued. There's so much anime out there which, like, we haven't even like touched on.
Yeah.
Which a lot of people won't really know about. Which is far times better than this.
Like, part of me feels
like-
I don't regret watching the show, but part of me is thinking like, man, could have watched something else, Like, I could have watched Fullmetal Alchemist Brotherhood. I could have watched Attack on Titan. I could have even watched Demon Slayer. I could have watched something else. And that's not even talking about like Monster and Steins Gate and all these, and Free Run and all that.
To be honest, I'm actually glad I watched it.
Yeah, I think it's glad to see what a quote unquote good anime is, because ultimately I think this is the most quintessential anime of animes. It's got it all: peak moments, grinner moments, stilted dialogue, great dialogue. It's such a crazy high and low.
It is a roller coaster.
Yeah.
It is a roller coaster.
And not
of anime.
not in a good way.
Now, what I would say about this one is that like there is the good moments which will impact my score. There is good moments, but it's the fact that we have to create the good moments. If that makes sense.
Yeah, no, you have to
Like-
do a lot of thinking. I feel like you have to connect dots together instead of
You have to connect dots, and you also have to write your own subtext
Yeah.
as well in order to make it good. Like you have to flesh out character moments in order to make them worthwhile. You have to flesh out characters in order to make them more impactful. You have to flesh out moments to make the story hit a little harder. That's not what we should be doing. I think in light of that, I think anything over a 6 is criminal. I think a 6 is where I stand. 6 out of 10.
So for season 1, I think it's an 8 or an 8.5.
Season 2. Just season 2.
Well, just season 2. Just season 2,
Just-
that could be like a 6, 6.5.
I think anything higher than a 6 is criminal.
For season
I think
2,
anything higher than a 6 I think anything higher than a 6 will make people think the show is palatable. It's not. Season 2 is not palatable. The only palatable, the only moments you can actually bite your teeth into, really sink into it, are moments which have been building up since season 1, or it's moments in which a character dies. That's it. I think there's a total of 7 scenes in season 2, which I can look back on with fondness. And how many episodes were in season 2?
Yeah.
To only have 7 moments? That's crazy. That's crazy stuff. I don't know. Yeah, I think with that, season 2 gets a 6. I think we gave season 1 a 7.5.
No, we gave it much higher. We did not. Oh, we gave it an 8.5. I think you were saying 9. I don't think you realize how high we rated this show.
Fuck. So you're telling me that leaves the show. So
Because we were saying the
if I
show
was
is
saying
peak. We were saying the show is peak.
we were saying there was issues, but it was peak. Fuck.
Think of how many times you texted me and you were like, "Behold, it's peak." Yeah, it's peak.
Because it did have peak moments.
Because season one with Cornelia and Euphemia was great.
It was. Fuck. Season 2 just ruins it.
Yeah.
Holy fuck. I think the show in general then. The show in general averages out to around 8. 7.5.
I think 7.5 is exactly what it is, the show overall.
Yeah. I'm happy to give it a 7.5. 2.5 is I think 2 out of 2.5 is surely just season 2. All the plot holes, all the shit moments, all the bad dialogue, all the poor written side characters, all the bullshit use of powers, all the fucking man. I can't give it a 7. I'm giving it a 7. I'm giving it a 7. I can't give it a. I'm just really like I'm reading all the bad shit. I'm like, holy fuck, this is a lot worse than a 7.5.
I think it's fair if you give it a 7. I might give it a 7 as well. I think it's too. I don't look back on it with fondness, and I think I wouldn't recommend. Like if I'm thinking about it, it's like I just can't. It's a 7 out of 10. Overall, I'd say it's a good anime. Overall, if we have to say, but season 2 is not good.
It's crazy. I think this is the first and only time I've ever watched something which has has been highly recommended, and I'd say stop at a certain point. Like just stop. Just turn it off. Just don't bother watching it. Don't bother watching the end.
I mean, I could say that for like season 8 of Game of Thrones.
See, because I haven't seen Game of Thrones, I can't really say that.
Yeah,
so
but
I don't know.
Season 8 of Game of Thrones is it's generation. Like season 7 is already a bit sus, but you can watch it. But season 8 is generationally bad. Like it's you literally watch the best thing ever and turn to like poo in your hands, and you're like, this. How did this happen?
It's like having like a giant fucking marshmallow. You're like, oh, I can't wait to bite into this marshmallow. And it starts fucking raining. The thing just dissolves in your hands. For me though, I think if you stop watching Geass after season 1 and you just left it alone.
Yeah, if it never got a season 2, people would say biggest what if anime. You know what I mean?
Yeah, they'd probably look back at this and think it was the best of all time. And like that, they could have left it there, and that could have been it. Big man, boom, done. Brush your hands off. Never touch it again. Cool. The fact that season 2 came out
and sucked
brings this to a 7. Because like that, we've rated things I would rate higher than Geass as a 7.
Yeah,
I mean, crazy.
Yeah, I'm sure we put what could it be, like a 7.
I think. What did we rate D&D?
That's probably we probably put like a 7.5 for that.
I think we did. I think D&D is better than. No, I can't say that. I can't say that. No.
Well, would you sit down and watch Geass, or would you sit down and watch D&D?
So there's a question of 8 hours of Geass, or 2 hours. What was it, like an hour 55? Like 2 hours of D&D. Like,
look, Codegeass does not shape up, and I think that's just the unfortunate part of it.
To be honest, if they remade the show, if they same plot, same story, same everything, if they remastered it, and they got rid of all the character dialogue, if they did a Brotherhood on Geass, I think it could be amazing. I think it could get really
to be honest,
good.
yes.
Like this is the one show I can confidently say would do really, really fucking well with a remastered.
Yeah.
It would do really fucking well. And if they do end up doing it, I'll be there front and center. I'll be there waiting to watch it.
I'll be there. I'll be there at day one.
Even if they remastered it into like a trilogy of movies, by all means, go ahead. You can't destroy it any more than season 2 destroyed it for me. So yeah, I think I think seven is a good score considering season 1 was so high up.
Is this
Season 2 was so bad.
Alright, final question. Is this the most overrated anime?
I think it's the most misinterpreted anime of all time. I think it's the most misinterpreted. I think people will look at this like Holy Grail. And they're misinterpreting the fact that it's just not. I don't think it ever took itself as Holy Grail either. Considering the fact they've ripped so much from other classic literature, other classic anime, other classic like fucking shows in general. You can't put it up there. I think anybody who has like, I don't know, more than 3 IQ points, more than 3 brain cells to rub together will know that this shit just don't hit the way it should, you know? So like the greatest anime of all time? No.
I said most overrated.
Oh, sorry. Most
Greatest anime of all time? No. Wise words.
Most overrated anime. See, because I think the people who are rating it so highly see it for like they see it for what it could be, just like we do. So I feel like there's definitely more overrated anime out there. I think there's definitely more.
Yeah.
There's definitely more which people look at and be like, holy pog, I can't believe it. I can't believe it. This is so peak.
Yeah, maybe
when it just ain't.
Maybe if this is more popular.
I think like My Hero has to be up there. Yet again, haven't seen it. But people fucking love that shit, you know? They fucking love that shit. And it just can't be that good, bro. It can't be.
They love Deku.
Deku. They love gentle criminal, bro.
But yeah, I think with
a lot of people do consider this their favorite, though. Fuck.
Well, I think there's a difference between the favorite and the best.
Oh. Yeah, no, there is a big difference between favorite and best.
Like my favorite. Okay, most of my favorite things are pretty good, but you know, I wouldn't say like my favorite food is the best food.
That is true. I'm not gonna say a spice bag is the. Yeah, no. I think it is overrated. It's not the most overrated anime of all time, but it is overrated. I think with that, yeah, we wrap it up here.
Thanks again for going, and we'll see you next week for a surprise.
What are we doing next week?
Oh, a surprise. We'll need to figure it out, but it'll be a surprise.
You know what, folks? Wuthering Heights podcast coming next week.
Margot Robbie Press Tour podcast.
To be honest, I've seen it.
You've seen Wuthering Heights already? How?
I've seen it. Yeah, I saw it on Sunday.
Alright, we'll need to discuss this.
Yeah, well, folks, we'll catch you on the next one. We're going to discuss Wuthering Heights.
Wait a second. Is this... Wait a second. Before we end, in 2011, there's a Wuthering Heights, and it's got Kaya Scaladaro in it.
What?
It's got Effie in it.
Jarvis, load up the Peter Quill meme. It broke my heart to put that tumor in your mother. What? You're telling me I haven't witnessed Peak yet? You got Effie?
Effie.
Oh, man. No.
With that cliffhanger, we'll leave you. Goodbye.